Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Sorcery. Previously, we went down into a more derelict part of Kharé, and we climbed into a mysterious well, and that ended up being a colossal mistake, because underground were the sewers, and in the sewers were an army of goblins, and I got my stamina thrashed to half, and I used up most of my rations, and I think I only have one ration/healing potion left. And what's more, apparently there's some big goblin uprising led by a man using some crappy silver facsimile of the Crown of Kings, and they're gonna destroy the city. And what's more, we're here at the North Gate, and I only know, less than half of the passwords needed to open it, so I don't know what's gonna go down. But only one way to find out, I guess. You have emerged from a well house in a clearing in the shadow of the city wall. Looking around, you realize how far you have come. On the other side of this clearing is the North Gate itself. The ground before it is wide and clear, and lit by blazing torches set into brackets either side of the enormous sealed doors. Should there be archers hiding in the shadows, they would have a clearer sight on you. You don't know all of the spell lines, of course, but perhaps the gate will open to a DOP spell after all. Right. Stride over to the gate, wait, and watch. Well, there are a bunch of raucous goblins in the well below me, but none, I think, are climbing up the ladder. Maybe. Hard to say. Wait and watch a bit. You wait in the shadows and watch. If the guards are patrolling, you should be able to learn their patterns. But strangely, there seem to be no guards here at all. Perhaps because the gate is locked, no one bothers to guard it anymore. Okay, stride over to the gate. Throwing caution to the wind, you step out of the shadows and approach the gate. Time to see if you have learned enough on your travels through the city to unlock the gate. Oh boy. We might be entering Act 3 here. You reach the other side of the clearing unscathed and stand below the enormous doors. Right. Recite the spell. You knock firmly on the door. When there is no response, you call out, "I'm here to open this gate." There is no response. You begin to wonder if you have been tricked, if there is no gate here at all, and this is simply an illusion painted across a solid stone wall. Suddenly you are not alone. A phantom voice issues from the wood itself. "Halt, stranger," it booms. "Do you know the spell which controls the gate?" "I do not." You reply honestly. The voice begins to laugh. "Then the gate denies you," replies a voice. From across the clearing you hear a scrabbling sound of metal moving over stone. You look around but see nothing. Look at the well? You look over at the well and catch a flash of... Who's calling me? Ignore. That's rude. Sorry about that. You look over at the well and catch a flash of moonlight on a metal blade. It is the hooked claw of a grappling hook attached to the edge of the well shaft. As you watch, a face emerges. It bears the leering hook-toothed smile of a goblin. It seems they have followed you up the well. Uh-oh. No way I'm fighting an army. Run to hide. You turn to run, aiming to find somewhere you can hide and watch what unfolds. But then you realize that you are running for your life as goblin after goblin clambers from the well and begins to race across a clearing towards you. There is no way you can fight 100 goblins, so you dash aside into the shadows. Uh-oh. The goblins pour up to the gate. Are they going to try and ram it? But then they stop, and in their midst a small figure is being propelled forward. It is the Mad King. He is surrounded by a guard of nearly 20 goblins. Is he going to open the gate? Hang back. You hang back, watching as the figure nears the gate. Leaning down to the lock, he whispers something, but you cannot hear what he says. A moment later, the gate begins to move. It is opening. He's letting an army of goblins in from the backlands, isn't he? Stay back. You hang back, watching. Looking through, you make out figures in the darkness beyond the gate. Marsh goblins, thousands of them, screaming and armed for war. They begin to race forwards, pouring through the gate, filling the clearing and meeting their hill cousins in loud and violent celebration. The man with the circlet at the gate cries with glee. "A new day for Kharé begins," he cries, clambering onto the shoulders of a nearby goblin, as though about to make a speech. Quite suddenly, the goblins that are carrying him let go. He cries out as he falls to the ground. A sword goes up, slashing down. There is a scream. They have murdered their own king. What is going on here? The circlet from his head rolls to your feet. The goblins, clashing sword on shield, look towards the city with violent eyes. Hell yeah, take the circlet. From the way the king was clutching the circlet, he might have thought it was a thing of power, perhaps akin to the crown of kings himself. But it is nothing, cheap hammered iron. It still bears the groove from when it was once a goblin sword. You toss it into the dust. Oh man, so was it just a placebo? Was he just bullshitting his command over the goblins the entire time? Alright, well, I'll hide in the shadows, I guess. You hang back in the shadow of the gate. More and more goblins are surging in through the gate, and they are starting to organize. One, a leader of some kind, is hoisted up by the other so he can address the crowd. "Kharé falls," he screams in his guttural voice, "and every creature dies." Perhaps when their rampage has begun, you will be able to slip through the gate and continue your mission. So long as you are willing to let Kharé burn. Cast a spell? What could I even do here to destroy an army? Maybe I could, mind control the leader goblin, but no, that only works on unintelligent creatures, doesn't it? Let's see what spells I can cast. Get an idea of what my options are. Jig? Make them dance? I don't have a bamboo flute. Hot? Create a fireball? Okay, so I'd incinerate one or two goblins. What else? W-O-K. Create a shield. Of course, one stamina and one gold piece. No. G-A-K? Cause fear. Oh, that might be the best thing to do, but I need a black face mask. Crap. Right. Watch and wait. There are too many coming through the gate at the moment. You hover in the shadows near the gate. "Kharé is ours," screams their leader, and with a clash of swords, the army begins to march down the road into the city. Follow them, cast a spell, let them go. Wow, this is dire. God, I can only hope that Flanker has already left the city, man. Oh my god. Kharé's gonna be reduced to ash. Everyone's gonna die. Wow. The city does not deserve that. But what can I even do? If I follow them, what then? Not my problem. Let them go. There's nothing you can do to prevent them. You stand in the clearing and watch as the army pours away into the city. You hear their guttural song echoing through the night. A few minutes later, you see flames where they have torched the trees. It will take them an hour, perhaps, to pass through the necropolis into the market and the Red Quarter. God, wow, so I did have an opportunity there to kill the guy, the human who knew the password to open the gate. And then I'd be surrounded by 20 goblins, but it would unequivocally stop this invasion. If I had done that, I think. Damn. Leave the city by the gate. You turn to the open gate. Beyond lies the backlands and the rest of your journey. Kharé will have to burn, but you will not fail to recover the crown. You stride for the gate. Then, a voice rings out. Stop. There is a better way. Look for the speaker. You look around, but can see no one. But all around you, something is happening. The marsh goblins entering the gate have slowed down, their warmongering becoming an absurd, stately dance. The noise in the clearing dulls to a low rumble. Oh. I commanded you to stop, cries the voice, and suddenly you feel yourself held rigid. From the smoke of the torches by the gate, a figure emerges. Who are you? Do you not recognize me? The voice replies. It is an old man with a long beard and deep black irised eyes. He paces through the churning goblin army to stand in the open. His legs disappear into a spectral trail. He is at least part wraith. Step forward, he commands, and you find yourself bidden. Whoa, hello? Don't hurt me. I have aligned 3 stars, the ghostly man declares. Vic rises tonight. The goblins show their hand tonight. But also you. You are here tonight. Suddenly you recognize his face. It is Loreg the Scholar. What? We meet again, he says. It has not been long for you. For me, it has been centuries upon centuries. I have founded a city, and now I intend to save it. Oh my god, what? Wait, what? Wait. What? How is this possible? What's going on, dude? How is this possible, you demand? I met you, or a man that looked like you, in a house mere hours ago. I saw Kharé was falling. Sansis had lost his mind and sided with the goblins. The council was in ruins. My own life was threatened. I saw that Kharé needed to be saved, so I went back to remake it in a way that could be saved. And here we are now. You have been here 2 days. I have been here hundreds of years, waiting for you to bring me the spell for the gate. This dude traveled back in time and redid the founding of Kharé. Whoa. But the gate is already open. Don't you know the spell? Why do you need me? Find them yourself. He probably knows one of the passwords. And there must be some reason he needs the gates to stay closed. Why do you need me? I created the spell, Loreg replies, long ago. It has been passed down since then. Changed. Lost to me. Split into 4 lines. I knew it would happen since I was given one of those lines myself. Oh my god, it's a stable time loop. He didn't change history. He fulfilled history. It was always meant to be this way. Even in the original timeline that we experienced, Before he even traveled back into the past, he had always been in the past. He was fated to time travel back. So I prepared someone to find it again for me. For this night, I prepared you. Explain, what are the spell lines for? You reply, head in a whirl. I thought they unlocked the gate. The spell does not open the gate. His tone is heavy and dark, like tarred timber. The spell controls it, and there are deep magics burned into the wood itself, magics that have poisoned the city and burnt fire into the eyeballs of those who live nearby. Whoa. Okay. He stares at you, his coal-black eyes expressing no emotion. Deep magics I place there to be used by you tonight. I am dead. You must act for me. How can I find the spell lines? How can I find this magic? I tried to find them, but they were too well hidden. The wizard nods. The lines are known to 4 nobles. Lord Theta is blind and living in the wastelands of Upper Kharé. Oh. Okay. Lord Shinva is dead, but not yet forgotten, in the mausoleum in the necropolis. Right? So we narrowly avoided finding these 2 then. Lord Mulus was a follower of the god Slain, and in his shrine near the docks of Lower Kharé, you may learn his line. In a shrine near the docks of Lower Kharé. Lower being the west side. Damn, I didn't see any shrines near the docks, and I thought we explored the docks pretty well. But there is no more time. The city's about to be destroyed. It is too late. The goblins are already inside the walls. There is a magic, Loreg replies, that will give you the time you need. I cast it on myself once and went far back to before the city was built. I founded Kharé. Now you will save it. He waits to let his words sink in. If you will allow me, he says, I will bend time itself so that you may return to the city and find the spell for the gate. So shall you take the adventure, or will you leave Kharé to burn? Understand also, he adds darkly, I will curse you and the journey to follow if you do not assist me. You hesitate. Kharé is a city of traps, but also of secrets, and there's still more that you might find. Can you afford to let the city port burn? Found one clue, other clues have been updated. Continue the search or abandon Kharé. Dude, send me back. I will help you, you tell him. The wizard nods. I thank you. Ready myself. He raises his arm and begins the spell. The raging goblins stand like statues. You feel yourself lifted up from your body, as though you have been snatched away by birdmen. As you lift into the air, you hear Loreg cry out one last piece of advice. Find the lines, and find the order of the lines. Kharé dwindles beneath you, and you feel your body growing weaker. I can choose where to return. Oh, wow. Okay. So I could go to outside Kharé, the very beginning of Act 2. I could meet Thomas, the beggar, get my way into the gate, but what other options would wait for me there? I could get in a scrap with the city guard. I don't want to believe there's anything good for me there, but here? The fields? This was a big choice. I split down here and I walked here. I got the chainmaker shop here. I got the key and the chain, and then I went to the Festival of Thieves. But I never went up this way, up to this weird big mansion and what's over here in Dwarf Town? Yeah. The new stuff begins here. Like, technically, at this split here, I could have gone up to here, but I could also reach that from this spot too. I don't think there's any reason not to go back as far as I can. Let's go to the... Oh, I just need to click on it. Let's go to the fields. This will take you back in time to continue your search for the spell lines from the fields. Go. Whoa. You are being wrenched in directions you did not know existed. The pain is unbearable, and just when you think you will go mad from it, the forces tear you apart. You struggle to grab onto your belongings and your very self as you tumble down from the clouds. And then you are awake, your eyes open once more. Your surroundings have changed. Following the track for a few minutes, you reach a junction where 3 roads begin. These are the outskirts of Kharé. Huts huddle like beggars on either side of the tracks leading uphill into the city port. Time to choose your road. You need to track down the city nobles and get the spell lines for the gate that Flanker told you of. Dude, Flanker! I could meet him at the inn, and I can gamble again for his freedom. I think I get a second chance to keep owning Flanker. Whoa. Just at that moment, a cart rolls down the road from the right and careens around the corner to take the main track ahead. This time, however, the crates on it wobble but do not fall, and it disappears up the road, leaving nothing behind. Oh, damn it. Okay. Interesting. It seems not everything is fixed after all. Okay, so there might be small changes. Hello. Where the hell did my mouse go? There it is. Alright. Oh my god, we time traveled. Like, this is different from rewinding to pick other options, like from this. No, I have all my memories, all my notes, all my possessions. I still have my legendary sword. And, my sun jewel. Well, may as well quaff this. Okay, we're officially out of food and out of heals. And we have 1 gold. This is not good. Well, dude, this is pretty wild. Okay, right. Act 2 is longer than I thought. I wonder if I can retry infinitely until I get all the lines. That'd be nice. Right. You follow a group of youngsters with packs up the roads. Homes, hovels line the track, and strange faces appear at the windows, watching you as you pass. Then, from around the bend ahead, a troop of guards appears. I don't know why the guards would want to bother me. Dart into a nearby hut. Keep my head low. Let's not take any risks. Dart into a nearby hut. You dart into a nearby hut for cover. Inside is dark, with the smell of rotting straw rising from a pile of mattresses that circle a low table. It is only after a moment that you notice these mattresses are occupied. It's a hookah. 3 ugly faces peer at you through clouds of smoke, rising from a hookah pipe that sits on the table. Examine the people. You look at the 3 creatures, who are staring at you with lazy disinterest. They are black elves, normally clever and vicious creatures, but these three only stare vacantly into the clouds of smoke at the top of the hut. Black elves, huh? Normally vicious, huh? Okay. Smell the air. Maybe I'll like it. Wait. My max stamina is now 19 and not 20. Oh no. I don't think that time travel is infinite at all. I'm losing stamina permanently. Oh, wow. Okay. That is not good. Smell the air. You sniff the air tentatively, and your head spins. The smoke of the hookah is sweet and stupefying. It is a weed plant. That explains the lethargy of the three elves. One of the elves takes a long draw on the hookah pipe, then sighs and settles back on his mattress. Sit and draw on the hookah? Talk to them. You turn to the nearest elf and nod. Greetings, you say. The elf nods back in return. I want to ask for your help. The elf nods deeply in reply. I've been sent by the first noble. I hear the north gate is locked with a spell. In my journey, did I even know about the nobles at this point? Is this... I don't think I could have gotten this dialogue option. Let's try it. The elf nods a third time, more profoundly now. I'm on a vital mission. The elf nods once more. It is only then that you realize he is asleep. Okay. This is useless. The smokers are too confused and vague. Try something else. You look around the hut once more. Yeah, it might be good for my health. Sit and draw on the hookah. You gesture to the nearest elf, asking for permission to sit down beside him. He does not even notice you. Putting the pipe to your mouth, you breathe in a cloud of sweet apple-tasting smoke. You begin to feel lightheaded. Weed plant affects different people in different ways, and you cannot be sure what it will do to you. As you wait to find out, you find yourself staring up into the clouds. Oh, I guess there's no roof here. Shapes seem to form themselves. There. Is that a dragon? Or a milk jug? Let's have a good trip. A milk jug. Overbrimming at its lip, carried by an old man smoking a pipe. Or is that a young girl dancing in a wide, billowing dress? A girl. Hey, got healed. A dancing girl, yes, of the kind you saw in the king's court before you left for the settlement. Perhaps those girls are dancing even now. Perhaps the one you see above you is one who twirls before the king, so very far away from here. The effect of the smoke is filling, as though you had eaten a good meal. You feel better for it. One of the elves starts coughing. The others look at him with surprise, but then their attention wanders away once more. Leave this place. The atmosphere is putrid. You check through the doorway to see that the guards have gone, and go straight back into the fresh air, and then continue up the street. Nice. Free heal. You continue up the narrow road. It is packed either side with mud brick hovels, but most are deserted. A few creatures pass by, heads turned down. They do not look at you. This part of the city port is barely habited, and certainly not somewhere the nobles would be found. But you may be able to learn some useful information from inhabitants, all the same. You pass a drinking fountain dribbling with water into a chipped stone bowl. Hell yeah, drink. Oh. You lean down by the fountain and cup your hand to drink. The water tastes cool, if herbal. Perhaps something is growing in it. I drink river water. How bad could this be? It healed me for 3? Yes. You swallow boldly. If the fountain is still running on a busy street like this, it can't be too poisonous. In fact, the water seems quite fresh, and you swallow a few more mouthfuls, finding you had not realized how thirsty you were. The dust of the city streets and the baking heat has been tiring you out, but now you feel somewhat refreshed. Hey, stop a creature to talk. You stop a stooped orc-like creature. I'm looking for the Shrine of Slaying. Right, at the docks. We did not find this. Maybe it's hidden. At once, the creature seems to brighten up. I love slaying, he answers, with genuine enthusiasm. Though I've been there once a week for the last year and never seen anyone attempt the impossible question, I'd love to see that. What's the impossible question? Exactly, I have no idea. I've been told it's never been asked. That's the whole idea. It's a question with an answer, but one that's never asked. The creature shakes its head. I'll tell you, if I could have a try, I would, but I don't dare. The creature looks somewhat uncomfortable to be talking to you. But where was it? Oh, I had the option. Damn it. Alright. I'm looking for the nobles of the city. If you find them, the creature replies, tell them we need... Oh, never mind, he sighs. There's no use in it. The nobles don't listen? Thieves and villains, that's how we elect them, the creature replies. So I don't know why we should be surprised when they steal money from the city to build bigger houses for themselves. Do any live near here? Lord Mulis lives up on the rise, it answers, pointing away to the north, in a huge place. He's almost dead now, of course. Everyone was so angry when he showed up as a corpse that they tore his house down. There's only a fish pond left. Hell yeah. Right. I'm heading for the north gate. The creature nods sadly. The north gate, I heard about that once. What did you hear? Oh, I don't know, the creature sighs. I think maybe they took it down, but then never been able to afford to cross the river. What else can you tell me about it? I don't know, the creature answers. Thinking hurts my head. Excuse me, I have to be going. With that, he shuffles away. There is nothing else to do here. You continue up the road. Mulis. Right. Let's look at my notes. Clues. First noble Sansis knows the full key, but he's the Goblin King. Theta is in the ruins as a blind beggar. Mulis is a living corpse. Torments the citizens of Kharé. Mulis is a living corpse. Half of a spell line. Shrine of Slaying. Right. Okay, so this has got to be Mulis' place, but he's a living corpse. A little further on, the road approaches the first stone building you have seen since the hut by the gates. It has windows of glass and a wide yard inside its uneven high wall. Whoever lives here is wealthy and understandably cautious. They have, however, left a fine stallion only loosely tied up outside. The horse, the house, or follow the main road? The horse? Let's take a look. You approach the horse. It snorts nervously, wary of your presence. You might be able to calm it or even talk to it with the correct spell. Ooh. Does telepathy work on it? Or maybe I can induce calmness. Let's see. It was Yap, right? Talk with animals requires a green-haired wig. Ah. Oh, how about Yaz? Cause invisibility. Pearl ring? Nope. Suss out danger? Nah. Cause depression. I could make the horse really sad. No. Hot? Create a fireball? No! Don't do that. Oh. Looks like I might be out of options then. Talk to the horse. You try a few words in the common tongue, but then a few whispered in the more gentle language of your girlhood in Chawberry Wood. Lore! I grew up in Chawberry Wood. The animal listens with its ears cocked, giving you a strange, distant look. But of course it does. It is a horse. Still, it appears calmer in your presence now. Perhaps you have made a friend. Steal the horse. I feel like that's a really bad idea. What the hell would I even do with a horse? How could I drag it through the entire city? I would not be able to care for this horse. Leave it. You do not need a horse in Kharé anyways. You step away from the horse and leave it to itself. Right. The house. You step through the gate of the house into its wide front yard. It was once a magnificent place with fish ponds, now stagnant, fountains, now cracked and dry, and small groups of quiet trees, now overgrown and gnarled like whispering old men. The building itself has fared no better. One side has collapsed in on itself completely, and the other leans perilously to one side. Right. Look in the trees, approach the building, look at the fountains. Ooh. Oh, hello. Is that a hidden crypt beneath the fireplace? Oh, kind of wish that wasn't revealed. Look in the trees. Look at the fountains. Why not look at the trees? You pause to look at the trees and the shrubs, and that's when you notice the two gleaming eyes staring back at you. A giant bat hangs upside from one of the branches, watching you. Ooh. I feel like I can just walk on by. It's just an animal. Oh. You hold the bat stare for another moment, then walk on. But the rustling in the leaves behind you is pretty clear, and you spin round in time to see the creature coming for you with its talons drawn. You draw your sword quickly and engage the creature. Right. Look at this thing. Oh. The bat's great wings buffet at your face, making it hard to see. You slash out at the creature, hoping to cut off its wings, as the bat dodges back, cutting with the hooks on its wingtips. The giant bat tumbles backwards into a tree in a crash of branches. I feel like we can handily overpower it all the time. Another chance follows. Pushing off a tree trunk, you thrust forward, catching the giant bat wide open. The bat is flying erratically now. Finish it. I love my sword. The creature is now afraid. Swinging up from a low crouch, you aim for the beast's heart. The bat falls to the ground, and the light in its eyes goes dark. You turn to face the house once more. Right. Oh, what? I can't look in the fountain? Lame? The front door is as wide as 2 men and stands imposingly sealed. A small path winds around the back of the house. The path at the back. There is a door in the back. Let's try the front door. You stride up the steps to the door of the grand house. Knock on the door. You never know, it could be enchanted. You walk up to the door and knock, just to make sure. No one answers. Try the door. You try the door. Locked, of course. A slate skitters off the roof and smashes itself on the ground to one side of you. Well, time to cast Dop. D-O-P. But a locked door is of no consequence. Once you have woven your spell, the great oak door complains once and then gives way, swinging open to reveal a dark hallway beyond. We're in. You step inside the great stone house. A cold silence descends, quite different from the dusty heat outside. This place feels like it has not been lived in for decades, although, judging by the lack of dust, it may not have been quite so long. Floorboards creak underfoot. At the end of the hallway is a sealed door. Is that a chink of light just visible beneath the frame? Look at the light creep forwards. Look at the light. The light beneath the door flickers, now bright, now faint, as though a figure paced back and forth, its shadow coming and going. But you hear no footsteps. Creep forwards. You make your way along the corridor. The walls on either side are lined with large portraits of dusty-looking men and sour-faced women who sneer at you as you pass. Look at the paintings. The figures in the paintings are all finely dressed, but they also have knife scars on their faces and nicks in their ears. These must be the thief kings of Kharé's murky past. You pass a large metal coal scuttle sitting against the left-hand wall. A what now? You stop to look inside the scuttle, but the inside is blackened, and in the darkness it seems as though an infinitely deep pit was contained inside. Put my hand inside. I feel like this can only end poorly. Leave it. But dude, this is the house of a noble. You never know when a clue could be found. You are not afraid. You reach into the scuttle, blind. The scuttle feels empty. Then your finger touches something sharp, so sharp it stings. Search for the sharp thing. Ah! You feel around in the scuttle, searching for the object. Then you find it, earning another sharp prick. Keep feeling around. You keep feeling around and then have a clear sense that something is climbing up your arm to your wrist. What is it? In the darkness, you can see nothing, so you grope about with your other hand to try and work out what the creature is. But you feel a stinging pain in your other hand, and a moment later, you feel the same biting sensation on your neck. That's when you realize there is still something wrapped around your hands as well. A snake! Kill it. You make to raise your sword and kill the beast, but it has wrapped itself tightly around your wrists, and now you cannot move your arms at all. You have had enough of this torture in the dark. You race out of the house and back into the sunshine. Wait, what? As you hit the light, the serpent hisses and rears back and drops into the shadows. It must be a dark snake, a creature whose bite is luckily non-poisonous, just itchy. Return to the house. That was stupid. You take a moment to collect yourself, then you step back into the darkness of the corridor, determined not to leave the house unexplored. Alright, end of the corridor. That was stupid. You reach the far end of the hall. It is only a short way from the entrance, but all is now in shadow. The only light comes from the gap around the frame of the door in front of you. More darkness wells up to the right. You can just make out the first few steps of a flight of stairs, leading away upwards to the second level of the house. Right, well, this hidden chamber has caught my interest. I hope we can go up the stairs next time, on our way back out. You push open the door and enter a wide paneled room with a thick carpet. It is a study of some kind. The source of the light under the doorframe becomes quickly apparent. A roaring fire burns in an enormous grate on one side of the room. Go over to the fire. You go over to the fire to warm your hands, only to find it emits no heat at all. It burns no fuel either. The enormous grate, large enough to roast a whole boar, is entirely empty of wood, ash, or coal. But the flames are none the less brilliant and as high as a man. Look into the flames. Peering deeper at the base of the fire, you see there's definitely nothing there. The flames spring into life a finger's width above the grate. They are so bright you can make out nothing beyond, but it seems that the hearth goes back some distance. With the door shut, you would expect this room to be swelteringly hot, but like the rest of the house, it is icy cold. Step into the hearth. Steeling your courage, you duck your head and step into the grate. The flames surround you, their crackles whispering in your ears as though you stood in a pit of snakes. But you feel no heat, your skin does not blister, and your clothing does not ignite. You stand in the middle of the fire like some kind of demon and feel no ill effects at all. From here you can see that the hearth extends backwards much further than you might expect. Is it a tunnel? Or do you stand inside a trap, its jaws about to spring shut? Continue. You creep forward across the grate, through the flames and beyond, into a low stone alcove hidden by the fire. The walls are made of solid slabs of stone, and there is nothing here, no treasure, no secret doors. On the far wall are a strange set of markings, a series of long grooves like scratches, radiating outwards from a small hole. Feel the grooves in the far wall. You run your fingers through the grooves in the stone wall. They have been carved lightly and roughly, with a dagger point rather than a chisel, perhaps. But the small hole at their center is much more cleanly formed. You put one finger into the small hole. You cannot find the bottom of it, but it seems polished and smooth. It looks like the bolt hole you might find in the stonework of a fortress doorway, except for its position in the middle of a blank wall. A keyhole. You look through your pack for something to use as a key. I have the bronze key. Oh. You try a key, but the hole is circular and has no space for the key's teeth. Not that it could possibly have turned, of course. You look for something else to try, but you find nothing. Cast a spell. If it's a gate, then it can be opened. Open locks and doors. You cast the spell across the grooved wall in front of you, but nothing happens. Perhaps it's not a door after all, or perhaps it is locked with a fearsome magic your own spell cannot overcome. It is impossible to be sure. Ooh. You clamber back out of the fireplace and into the study, no wiser for your explorations. Right. Emerging from the fireplace, you make to brush yourself clean of soot, but find there is none. Let's look and see if there's some sort of key we can find. You look up from the fireplace and search around the rest of the room. The furniture is grand, carved and stained with inlaid with patterns of goblin bone. But there are no possessions to be seen, no ornaments, no jewels, no treasure, and no sign of the owner. It is as if whoever lived here had moved out, or more likely as though the place had been thoroughly robbed. The fire crackles and spits, but strangely quietly for such a large blaze. Okay. Leave the room. You head out of the room and back into the corridor. A chill breeze drifts from the stairwell. Up the stairs. You place your foot on the first step of the stairwell, and suddenly it begins to move. Is it alive? Some kind of thin, flat beast? Or is it a trap? I feel like it might be just collapsing. Grab the handrail. Oh. You grab the handrail to steady yourself, only to find it is moving as well. Hold on. You cling onto the rail to keep yourself upright. It seems the rail is moving at the same speed as the step underneath you. You rise to the top of the stairwell in a smooth motion and jump off in perfect safety. It's an escalator. Okay. You look around. You're on an upstairs landing with doors on either side. Here's a bedroom and the bath. The library. Let's try the library. This is a library in darkness. At the far end, a pair of eyes stare back at you. Oh, probably some sort of monster. Look at the eyes. You step forward boldly, your own eyes fixed on those across the room from you. They do not blink. They do not even move as you approach. I'm pretty sure it might just be a painting or a statue. Stare it out. You stop and try to stare the creature out. It is agonizing work. A minute goes by, and still neither of you have blinked. Keep staring. You keep staring until your eyes begin to ache. The eyes do not react. Then you see why. They are the eyes of a large portrait that hangs over the far wall, in shadow, but for a dim sunbeam falling through a gap in the roof above. Yeah, check out the painting. The painting is of a proud and stern-looking man dressed in loose leather armor, with a serpent emblem stitched along the length of one arm. The painting fills the entire wall of the room and must be twice the height of the man who posed for the likeness. Look behind the painting. You raise one corner of the frame from the wall and peer up behind it, but it is too dark to see if there is anything hidden there. The eyes of the painting seem to follow you as you move. Look at the painting? You step back a little to regard the man in the picture. The most striking thing about him are his eyes, cold and cruel. They seem to gleam with cunning and the will to survive. They are the eyes of a man who would harm you if it suited him, knowing full well what it was he did. Otherwise, he stands tall and proud, with one hand on the hilt of a sword, and the other wielding a tiny dagger. Everything about him reeks of power and threat. The picture must be of the man that lived in this house, for anyone else would surely cast too long a shadow to live beneath. Lift the painting down. You grab the base of the painting between outstretched hands, then heft the frame up and off the hook that holds it to the wall. There is a moment where you think you may have it under control. Then you are holding the true weight of the picture and begin to stagger backwards. Just drop it. Wait, what? But the weight of the frame is too much. You let go of the painting and it crashes to the floor, landing on your foot. You howl in pain as the painting teeters, then tilts until it is leaning once more against the wall. Oh, son of a... Look at the end wall. You look over the wall where the painting had hung, but there is nothing else of interest, just its dark outline. You turn your attention from the portrait. There is nothing else in the room. Friggin' fine. You return to the top of the stairs. Bedroom. You step through a doorway into a simple bedroom. The bed is unmade and looks as though its owner left in a hurry. Personal effects are scattered all over the floor as if the place had been ransacked, which it probably was. A cane leans by the bedside. You see nothing else of interest. Cane, you say? The cane is a simple straight stick with a leather loop at the top to slip around the wearer's wrist. It does not look like any sort of weapon, and it does not appear to be magic. I think a cane could fit in that circular hole in the fireplace. Take it. You take it, although you cannot think what it might be for. A second door leads further into the house, or could return to the stairwell. Check out the bathroom. The further door leads to a bathroom. There is nothing in it, not even a mirror, only a gap where one used to hang. The only fixture is an empty iron bathtub in the middle of the tiled floor. Look under the bath? Something darts at your face and you leap back? Run my sword under the bath. You draw your sword and swipe it in an arc underneath the bath. It comes away clean, no blood and no hidden treasure. You head out of the small room. Wait. Oh. Okay. Bedroom. Right. Let's return to that fireplace. Nothing more to explore up here. Downstairs. You return down the stairs, which seem quite normal now, back to the lower hall. There does not seem to be anything more here to be discovered. Says you. Return to the study room. Into the fireplace. A keyhole. Insert the walking cane. Hell yeah! You raise the walking cane and slip the tip into the small hole in the back of the fireplace. It fits perfectly. There is a click. For a moment, nothing happens, and then very slowly the stone begins to move. A passageway has opened to your left. Hell yeah! You peer through the secret passage, but can make out nothing but darkness beyond. You'll have to go inside and find out what you have discovered. Slipping through the narrow opening, you find yourself in a slightly wider space. The walls are cool stone and there are no windows, but the room is not dark. In one corner, an idol stands on a small shrine, lit by 2 candles which burn with thin, cold flames. This place reeks of death and decay. The shrine is covered in thin, blood-soaked strips of cloth. All right. Am I really that ballsy to steal an idol from a shrine in a world of magic? Look at the cloth. The bandages are each an arm-span long and as deep as your thumb. Each is bloodied in 2 places along a few fingers width apart. There are 30 or 40 such bandages here, running down from the shrine like streamers. Someone was injured for a long time. Search the bandages? You sift through the pile of bloodied cloth strips quickly. God, what is with my speaking skills today? Man. Something gleams from within the pile and you uncover a silver badge. It is the badge of a noble of Kharé. Take the badge. The badge is solid silver and probably valuable. You place it carefully into your pack. You glance behind you, suddenly terrified that the secret door might swing shut and leave you trapped in this place. Look at the shrine. The shrine is poor and cheap, unlike everything else in the house. It seems to have been hastily built out of uneven stones and a plank of wood, and the small statue of a fat god that sits on it has been molded from humble clay. You're starting to get the jitters down here. Look at the god. It must be some local deity. At the base of the statue is the name Korga. Above his head is a plaque with a short inscription, and on his face are painted 4 red dots. Read the inscription. The inscription is scrawled as though in the hand of a child. You have to squint to read it. Give me back my eyes. Look at the dots. The dots on the idol seem to have been daubed with a fingertip. They are perhaps directions on how to worship the god, but there is no indication on what to do or in what order, only the places. Both eyes, the 3rd eye in the forehead, and his mouth. There is nothing more to be seen in this terrible place. You slip back out of the small room, out of the fireplace, and into the hallway. Give me back my eyes. Interesting. Compared to the little room you have just left, the dark and empty hallway seems welcoming and friendly, but not so much that you plan to linger. There does not seem to be anything more here to be discovered. This house is home now only to ghosts. You hurry back out of the door into the sunshine of the front garden. Well, outside it is. The sun is shining brightly. It is almost the hottest hour of the day. Right, absolutely keep on the way we were going. I want to go to Dwarf Town. You head through the front yard of the ruined house and out onto the main street. The horse at the post whinnies and shakes its mane. Alright. Neat. So if I look at my treasures... Yeah, I have the badge of the 7th Noble. Who knows, maybe I could sell that. Maybe I could use it as some sort of proof of identity. Who knows? Maybe I could claim to be the 7th Noble. What else do we have? I want to look at my clues. Right, so half of a spell line by Forga's Pride. We just met the shrine of a god named Korga. I wonder if Forga is related. Korga's 3 eyes. Left eye, the right eye, and the third eye in the forehead. The Shrine of Slain. Okay, the shrine is located between the well and the docks in Lower Kharé. Vic. A man named Vic runs several businesses in the city port. Oh, maybe I could ask about Vic at a shopkeep. The Goblin Army in the tunnels beneath the city. Vic for First Noble. Well, guess there's nothing else for it. We'll have to just continue on and hope we find something. So, God, wow. This is pretty damn neat. We've Groundhog's Day'd this, guys. This is Groundhog's Day. Oh, this is great. Wow. So, our driving goal to find the passwords isn't to get out of the city, it's to save the city, destroy the Goblin Army. It doesn't just open the gate, it controls it. I have to imagine that the deep magics possessed in the gate, the same kind that cursed the people here to have red eyes in their eyes, in their skulls, the fire in their skulls. Maybe such magic could be harnessed to destroy or impair the army. God, so... Yeah, as we go forward, we'll see new stuff, certainly, but we'll go to Dwarf Town, the Artist Quarter. Well, we saw that, but maybe we can get there early enough in the day to see the actual merchants and not just food. We can check out Flanker again. We can have another shot at winning our dice game. And when we get to this side, well, we can see if we can find Vic. We can check out the other places. We can look further in the Fallen Quarter for the Blind Beggar Noble. We can explore the Necropolis. We can head up the road to this big ziggurat. There's a lot we can do in this second chance through Kharé. My god, this is just so cool. Oh man, this visual novel is so goddamn cool, and I am having the time of my life here. As bullshit as some things are, as much as I regret the falling in the well, as much as I don't like how I was bit by a snake. Well, whatever. I'm excited for next time already, so in the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Sorcery. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.